Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Strange Origins podcast. This is episode 30. Ooh.
Hey, 3-0, baby.
I was actually looking because we were looking at the episode number because I always forget
Mm.
every week, and it's been just over a year now since I started this podcast.
It's crazy, man.
That
Like,
is honestly crazy to me. It's not something I thought was going to last a year, put it that way.
mm, it's
But
just like it's just one of those things where it's just like I guess it becomes like part of your daily thing, not daily, but like weekly thing.
yeah,
It just becomes natural.
like
So,
I'm pretty sure like when we started this or when I started this with Mark
mm,
originally, we just were like, yeah, no, there's something cheeky to pass the time, like while
yeah,
we're in lockdown, and it would be a nice thing to look back on, so we could like hear what our thoughts were during lockdown. And then I was like, yeah, no, but in my head I was thinking, yeah, it would last like maybe till 4 or 5 months, maybe the end of the
oh
year.
shit.
That's it.
Yeah,
I did not expect it to be one. I didn't expect lockdown to last this long or pandemic, and I didn't
you too,
expect
baby.
the yeah exactly year two electric boogaloo. And I didn't expect like the podcast to go on for this long.
Mm,
Like, I mean, funny thing is, like, I thought the podcast was gonna die when I lost my co-host. Basically,
mm,
like, I tried to carry it on, saying like, I'm gonna have a different guest every week, but that proved to be a lot harder than I thought it would.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
not so much of like, finding people. I think it was just more like
Schedule,
yeah, like
maybe.
people's schedule. Like, it was finding people that were available to do it, and then them getting back to me and having a fallback person. Like, it's so much easier just to have somebody who's reliable,
Yeah.
like that can just do it, like i.e. you, so you can actually
Mm.
just be there, and I know you'll be there every week,
Every day, baby.
exactly. So like that's when I thought the podcast's gonna die, like,
Mhm.
because I can't get reliable guests, and
Yeah.
you, and it's really hard to find that chemistry. It's like something I wanted to talk about with you, like
Mm.
finding chemistry with somebody that you can bounce off of, I guess, is really quite hard, you know
Yeah, I think the good thing about like when we started talking, we had like a few things in common. Like,
yeah,
I think that was kind of like set like oh maybe I could talk to this guy, and then all of a sudden we just start talking more every day, and then like that created that sort of level of like banter and trust.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like it's good, honestly.
Yeah, because it's one of those things, like, we weren't like that at the beginning. Like, when we were talking to each other, like, it was just
Mm.
like one word things usually, and
Oh
we'd
yeah,
laugh
yeah,
here
yeah.
and there. Like, I remember I wouldn't play, like, unless Shads was playing or Mark was playing with you.
Mm. Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
like we wouldn't play together on our own, like any
yeah,
games or
yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. And then, like, same thing with Stefan. And then, like, eventually we were just like, wow, this guy, like, Mark, he's never fucking on anyway, so let's just play anyway.
Mm.
And I'd see you online, and he'll just be like, message me like, "Yo, are you free?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's just time,
it's
but like,
hilarious.
it's just fun times, man. Honestly, it's like, and then from that we just like move on to like different games, like
Yeah,
and
and our
I
own
think
servers and stuff like that.
exactly, and then like I think that built even more like honestly like trust and like just keeping that banter fresh, like
Yeah,
like
but that's
so
like, again, like, going back to the original point. It's like it's
mm,
hard to find that, like, the balance and the
yeah,
banter and the gel that works with it. Because I obviously had that with Mark, and it was quite
mm,
easy to, like, converse with each other and bounce off ideas and stuff like that. But
you guys pretty much know each other for like what almost 10+ years or something, right?
exactly, yeah. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
then when I
right.
tried to do that with other people, it felt more like I was the, like, interviewer, if you know what I mean. Like, I was like giving them an interview, being like, "Hey, like, what does this happen?" We had a few good episodes actually, because I liked the one
Mm,
I did with, like, Rocks and Shads. That was cool.
yeah,
Like, because we were actually talking about, like, an issue. That was probably one of the first times we had a podcast where, like, we had an issue that we were going to talk about, because not a lot of people were talking about it, and two,
yeah,
I had two people that were actually from that region, so it was perfect.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But, like, and then the other ones were, like, good. Like, I had on with Ishak and then Jacob. They were really good, but it always
Mm,
again felt like I was the, like, interviewer with those two ones in particular. Like,
yeah.
I was sort of like quizzing them, going, "So who are you? Like, what do you do?" You know. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
the Rocks and Shaz one felt a bit more like open to a discussion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it just depends on like what I guess kind of type of podcasts you want, right? Because we were talking about earlier, like I think you had a friend. The podcast like was like centered around a topic,
yeah,
and it's
which is
cool,
good.
it's organized, right? But it's like I don't think like knowing you, it's
Mm.
like it would be a bit like too roboty
Yeah, like for
and
me, like
scripted. Yeah.
yeah, I don't usually like to like because all the stuff we're talking about now, like, and every
Mm,
time we're in a podcast, we don't have a script. Like none of us is scripted. None of us are like we know what we're gonna say. We just have little like what they call like bullet points of like, oh maybe we'll talk about this. Like maybe we'll talk about
yeah.
that. And then like there'll be
Mm.
some times where me and Rod will be doing a podcast, and we have one bullet point. We talk about the bullet point, and we've gone on to a different tangent, and we've skipped every bullet point that we were going to talk about. So yeah, none of it's all ad libbed basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but how you been in the past, like 7 days? Because we haven't really played or spoken.
No, this is actually probably one of the first times we haven't really
Yeah.
like played games because we usually play games like every night with each other
Mm.
because well, what, there's nothing else to do. So, and like none of us are really working, so we can
Yeah.
stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, much to our
Mm.
girlfriend's happiness. But like, it's good. It was good. I had my birthday recently, so that was one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm now an old man. I'm 27.
Shit.
If anyone's
I
interested.
you baby man. Come on, bro.
My beard says otherwise. No, it's good. We
True.
had some traditional food of my people, like
Oh
Iranian
shit.
food, Persian food. It was really good.
Oh, man.
Juicy lamb. It's something called we had kubede, which is one thing we had, and another one was like a special. My dad just said it's called the special. He wouldn't tell me what it was called. It's the special. I was like, okay. It's basically like a flattened lamb piece, like that's like a
Mm.
steak, sort of like cooked in the same way, and then the same that would be with a kubede, which is like a lamb kebab thing.
Oh
And it was probably like the most juiciest kebab I've ever had in my life.
God.
And then
Damn,
obviously it's
man.
served with rice with saffron rice, and then a grilled tomato as well.
Many people love like your saffron rice. So you got
Hey,
saffron
hey,
tea,
that's where
saffron
saffron comes from. That's ours.
rice.
Back up, all
Nah,
right?
it's nice, man. I'm not gonna lie. Saffron rice
It's
is
nice
like I think one of
fragrance.
my favorite rice. Yeah,
Yeah.
you use it instead of like just a normal jade rice or something.
And then my dad, like, he taught me some more things you could do with the rice and that. Like, so this is
Oh.
weird. So like, the first one's not weird. The second one was weird, right? So the first
Mm,
one is like something I've seen traditionally done before in like Asian style cooking. Is like
yeah.
we have the rice, and then he got an egg, and he didn't crack the whole egg in there, but he got rid of the egg whites and just put the yolk in, like of the rice, and then mixed it about, and it made and it cooked obviously in the rice, right? So that's
Yeah.
one thing I've seen that before in cooking before. Like
Mm.
I'm sure you've seen that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you just put the yolk in, it gets all creamy. The other one
Mm.
was they serve it with like a raw onion, right? That's chopped, and you just eat the rice or the meat, and then you have a bite of the onion. Not like a don't think of it like an apple. Like it's actually chopped. So you just have a little chunk of that while eating the
Yeah.
rice, and it's perfect. It
What is
tastes
just plain
great.
rice?
No, like rice and an onion. Literally like a raw onion. It's not grilled or
Ah.
anything. You just bite it, and then have the
Oh.
rice, or the lamb. You buy it at the same time. You have them together basically.
I've never heard of
I
that.
know, but it's great, and it tastes perfect.
Is there like am I missing something? Is the rice just plain or is there's something with it?
No,
Is
the
it just
rice,
like
saffron rice,
with
dude.
onion? Oh, saffron rice.
It's just saffron
Fuck, like
rice.
okay, because you said rice, I was like, wait, you're just gonna have plain
No,
bland rice with
this is the whole meal that I'm talking about that I had that night.
ah,
This is the whole thing. So, the whole fiasco. Like you have the
okay.
rice, you have the meat, the lamb, the grilled tomato, and the onion apparently, and the egg yolk. But yeah, you just bite that, and then you have the rice or the lamb. You eat it at the same time, basically. And then they've got this like
Ah,
little spice on top called sumac, which is like
I've heard of that.
okay, yeah, cool. So it's literally like so you know what it tastes like, or you just heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I've never
Okay.
seen it. Sorry.
Oh right. Okay. It's basically takes away like a lot of the like when you put it on, you don't get a lot of the oil and grease. So it's meant to do that in your stomach. It's meant to like not make it greasy and oily because when you eat sometimes when you eat greasy and oily things, you have like upset stomach.
Yeah, I
But
get that boy.
yeah, so this offsets that. Apparently, it's like really
Ah.
dried like lemon and something else. My mum said, which I had no idea. But then now that she said it, I tried it and I was like, I can taste a little bit of the lemon.
She got to your head, dude.
But it's great, like, and it actually works, and then
Mm.
and that makes sense to me because it's acidic, right? So if it's
Mm.
acidic, then it obviously offsets the oil.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's what we had like for dinner. It was fucking great. I need to take you to an Iranian restaurant when we can leave.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the closest one, maybe the Iranian, is just Turkish. It's just like down the road to me.
yeah,
But
or
we gotta be.
I would say Lebanese is probably more close than Turkish food
Mm,
because
I,
Lebanese is quite similar,
mm,
but Iranian's better.
I've had Lebanese food. It's actually nice, but I'll take your word for it, man. But
Yeah, I'm not biased at all. But yeah, apart from
um,
that, I got a nice gift from my girlfriend as well. It was like a cooking book, two cooking books, and a subscription service to like a cooking recipe thing that you get weekly.
mm,
Because obviously,
nice.
I like to cook, so it was great.
Yeah.
It tells
Chef
you, do
Jack.
you know, Chef Jack. It's definitely like on the app, like it's perfect. You can literally like tick off everything you've got. Like it gives you basically a shopping list, and you can just buy
Okay.
it via like that. You can go to the shop and go, okay, I got this, got this, got this, got this. So it keeps
Mm.
it like what's the word? Like neat and tidy,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Because I got criticized the first time when I was talking about how I do my shopping. Because the way
Oh no.
this is obviously like this is what happens when you're in a relationship. You get criticized a lot. But basically, I went to this. I used to go to the supermarket and just go,
Mm.
okay, what do I fancy? I look in front of me and I just see, oh, I can make this. I'll grab that and I'll make that. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't go in with a shopping list. I don't go in with a
Ah,
planned thing unless there are things I need. If you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah. I get that.
So for
That that's
meals, you just go in and go, oh, there's chicken there. Okay, I'll cook this. That's it.
yeah. It's like my way of shopping, right? Is it's weird. Like
Mm.
I want like I'm same as you. I would just think, but I would walk around.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Honestly, I would walk around and it just like walk around for like at least 10 minutes, and it's like and just stand there for like 2 minutes. Like what can I make with this,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I do. That's what I'm saying. It
But
just feels better.
yeah, when I got into a relationship, all that changed
Was
because like
it?
because we
Did
would.
you change or did she change it?
I think she changed me honestly,
Okay. Yeah.
because it makes sense. Okay, so in her head, she walks in her head. She can picture where the aisles is,
Okay.
right? So she would make a list based on the aisles, so you don't have to like basically walk around. You can just go in this one line in a way, like
Yeah.
one way, and by the time you get to the end, it's the last thing if you're shopping, and that's you're basically in front of the till.
Right.
So she does it like that. So it's like in order basically, so you don't have to like faff around, go in circles and shit. And don't get me wrong, I like it, but sometimes it annoys me because it conflicts with me. But
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
makes sense if you think about it.
It kind of like I get where like she comes. I guess because I shop like in Lidl, the
Yeah.
aisles are kind of already laid out like that, so you don't really need to organize much. Because obviously,
Mm,
well, for me anyway, in my Lidl, the middle
mm,
aisle is snacks and whatever like you know when they have those things like clothes
yeah.
and stuff like that, but
Mm,
whatever that is, right? They have that
yeah.
bit, and then the last two sections are freezer and alcohol, and I don't buy alcohol, so and I don't
Mm.
really need much from the freezer, so I don't really go down those last three. So
Oh,
I literally just go through the first ones, which is meat and produce, like that's it. So
nah,
it's easy.
the way my fiance just lays it out, man. It's like if you walk 10 steps, right? There's the
Yeah,
basil right there. 10 steps again on your left,
that is way
right?
too methodical for me.
And I'm like,
Nah, let me be
hello,
free.
hello,
Like, let me
hello.
just roam around.
Um, is this going somewhere?
It's just like
I'm like,
it's like a drill sergeant.
yeah, and it's like I like it and hate it at the same time
Mm.
because it makes sense, but it conflicts with my shopping
Yeah,
schedule, my schedule like thingy. So
like
it's just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
weird.
Like that. I think like because for me like I like to create like food, right? So I go
Yeah.
into an aisle and if I see like something on offer, let's say for instance, as a good example,
Mm,
it says if there's like lamb mince like or lamb minted steaks, I go oh that's on
mm,
offer. I can buy that. I can cube that. I can like fry like do it in a stir fry or I can just fry it and put it with rice.
mm.
Like and I'm done. Do you know? Like because do you have like a staples cupboard? Like do you have like there are certain things that are always in your house, right? Like
Yeah.
you've always got rice, you've always got dried
Oh yeah.
pasta, you've always got
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
spices and stuff like that. So you don't really need to buy that much unless you're making something, you know?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean, but it's just like how should I say? It's like
Because I don't know. Like I'm trying to like the what I'm trying to do is put it into context. Because when you go out to shopping, you either refill your staples. Well, you do refill your staples. So you refill the things that you use the most. So like
that's
rice
like
and pasta, right?
once a month though.
I mean, it depends how big you're buying. Like if you're buying in
Mm,
massive bulk, like a kilogram of pasta, then yeah, you don't need to do that. But
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
of the time, I don't buy that big unless I'm going to like Macros or Costco or something like
Are you like one of those people that like cooks for that specific day? The next day you cook something different?
that. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So like the way we do ours, that's why we kind of like do like in like once or twice a month.
Right.
Is we literally we kind of plan it out. If like, oh, next week maybe we should have this, maybe we should have that, and then we will
So you
sort of
eat
have
the
it for
same
like
meal for the week?
the next 2 days. The next
Oh,
two
two
days,
days.
basically
Okay.
2 days, and then I'll buy in bulk and stuff, and then that way it kind of saves me from going there again, and then
Yeah, I'll do that for certain things, but
Mm.
I think I would like get insane if I had to eat the same meal every day, like for 2 days
No,
and
but
like every day,
it,
every time.
are you fucking serious,
I
man?
love
Come on, really?
variety. Like one, I love to cook, so I don't know what. It's not a hassle to me. Cooking is not a problem to me. Like some people don't like cooking. At the end of the day, I enjoy cooking, so for me, it's not a problem, right? So I don't see it as a tedious act. So I don't mind
Mm.
cooking. So I don't need to plan ahead and do that thing. If you know
See,
what I
see,
mean.
see.
So
Ah,
and also I crave variety. Like I can't
fair enough.
like when I
Fair enough.
told you the story before, but when I was in Philippines, like we it was a lot of rice and it was a lot of like just
And
just
you said you
meat.
just wanted some, yeah, you just wanted something like I don't know, like Italian or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
something different, a different cuisine, which is
Yeah,
why I love London because you can from down the road you can get chicken, which is American, like fried chicken. You can get like Chinese, you can get Indian, you can get
yeah,
Mexican, like, and that's what I like. If I had to eat the same staple, I don't think I could do that. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Fair enough. Fair
I don't know.
enough.
That's just the way I am. Like,
Mm,
I know because obviously you don't mind doing that.
mm.
Like, you could have, I guess you could make like a chili con carne net for the next 2 3 days, right?
Yeah, we literally had it like the day before. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
Which for me, what I would do instead is if I had that left, if I have, don't get me wrong, if I have any leftovers, I'll eat them. Like, it's not a problem for me. But know my fat self, I'll probably eat for lunch and then have something else for dinner. So, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so see, weirdly enough for me, it's like if I had something left over for the next day, I would like eat half of it for lunch and then half for dinner.
oh, see, that's smart. I don't do that.
Like,
I'm just like, nah. This means I can have an extra different dinner. Like, but
uh,
I don't know. Do you not? Like, for me, I just get kind of bored. Like I'm just
I,
like,
I,
oh, I had
I
that
don't get me
yesterday.
wrong, I do, but it's like the only reason why we do it like that, like we sort of prepare for the next 2 3 days, right? Is
Mm,
because one thing is like I don't like cooking like in my kitchen, like in my
right.
parents' kitchen, because
Okay.
it's just so much shit everywhere. I can't move
Mm.
around in it, like and it's annoying. But in all on the old house, we would cook something different every day, or like
Okay, so that makes more sense to me.
and
Like, if your
mm,
kitchen is not an environment you like to be in, then I can see why you don't want to cook.
mm.
Yeah.
Uh, So it's just like it kind of annoys me, and then like because today my dad's a fucking like smoker who smokes indoors and shit.
Oh
Like
God.
just inhaling that shit while you're in there, like trying to cook, it's like
Does he
it's
smoke a lot
annoying,
then,
man.
or
Yeah, dude. Like
damn?
honestly, if
Yeah.
you are listening to this,
Like like that's the thing though. But it does taint the food when you're cooking there. Like,
exactly right.
so I don't like
So
unless I'm making like American style ribs. I don't really want a smoky flavor. Like you know. But I don't know. Like for me, like your my kitchen would probably be the the most exciting place in the room for me. Like or no, in the house for me. So
mm,
I would like to keep it feeling like God cooking in my mom's kitchen sometimes. Jesus Christ, trust me, I feel you. Like
man,
it's
trust me,
just
dude.
it's like my mom has got this habit of putting things in front of things that open. So like if there's a microwave door or even the pantry door, she'll put something in front of it, like the laundry basket or the bread, and that's where it stays. By the way, it's not like she's put it there by accident. No, no, that's where it
Yeah.
stays. But then she doesn't realize that when you want to go to something that opens, you have to move all that other stuff. So it just frustrates the shit out of me.
Oh God.
So, oh,
Oh.
you want some like basil? Okay, well, if you want to open the cupboard, you got to move the laundry to the other side of the room. Then you can open the fucking cupboard door and put it back. Like, it's so dumb. Like,
Mine's the complete. Mine's just like it's just like stacked everywhere. It's just like stacked and like unlike sort of basically like dirty in a way as well because
oh
they
really?
clean and we have to go in there and fucking clean it ourselves and shit
Oh my
every time we
god.
cook and it's just fucking horrible, man. It honestly like moving out it opened my eyes honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine actually, because
Like
I don't even mean this. I'm just like I'm going off of what I know of Mark, right?
Yeah.
Like in his like family's home is like his mum is the same. The kitchen
Mm.
is like the best way to describe it is like cluttered,
Mm.
like right, and it is a
Yeah.
little bit sometimes like dirty, right? So
Yeah.
is it like a Filipino thing? Like does it?
I think it is,
Because
and
it's a working kitchen. Is the way I've seen them talk about it. It's like
yeah,
it doesn't need to be spotless. Like
yeah, because the way I see it, right, is like it's not so much about because the dirtiness is it can be clean, right? It's
mm.
the fact that they have so much shit in there that they don't want to throw away,
Oh God. Okay.
and it's like I literally have like fucking big pans, little pans stacked on top of each other, like inside the cupboard, outside the cupboard, like
Yeah.
stacking them, and it's too much, man.
Yeah. Because
Like
I don't. Yeah. Go
sometimes
on.
sometimes we'd have to like sort of cut a thing in a table,
Oh really?
like
What
literally
like oh my God.
at the dining table because there's literally no space and it's just like fucking horrible, man. Like,
Because for me like what I've seen from like having been there and like with Mark's mum and that is like she likes to multitask a lot and they
yeah,
like to, so like they don't I guess like in this country you're kind of brought up to be like clean as you go. So
yeah,
as you're making something, you wash a pan. Like if you're waiting for something to boil, you wash a pan or you clean down the surfaces or something like that. That's
yeah,
in Filipino culture at least. What I've seen is while they're doing that, they'll go and put on the laundry or they'll go and clean the front room or something like
yeah,
that. So they won't clean where they are; they'll clean somewhere else. And it's just
yeah,
like that doesn't help.
yeah, and what's weird is like when you try to wash the dishes, they're like, oh, why don't you just wash when everything and everyone's done?
Yeah,
And I'm like,
exactly.
and I was like, no, because it's gonna be all cluttered up. And she goes, well, you're gonna be wasting water. I'm like, what? How am I wasting water? I'm gonna be using the same amount, but
Yeah,
it's just
you would have. Yeah, I've
it's
heard that
just,
argument before, and it doesn't
and I'm
make
just like,
sense.
hello, like
'Cause I don't
it kind
know.
of boggles my mind.
I don't know if your mum has said the same thing before, but
Mm,
like I was a big believer of like if you're living in a house, right? If you
yeah,
all wash up your own shit, you won't have a problem. Like
yeah,
no one will have a problem, right? Like you could everyone just cleans their own plates and you're fine. And
yeah,
if you wash pots immediately, then you're fine, right? But my
exactly.
mum sees it as like selfish. So
Why?
it's sort of like, well, why are you not washing everyone else's? Like, and I'm like, well, because if you can't wash your own plate, then what's wrong with you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
and and I get where they're coming from.
yeah.
Honestly,
So do
I
I.
get
That's the
it, but
problem.
at the same time, it's just like, well, I might as well do it now. While everyone's still eating,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
then I can help out after instead of waiting for everyone to finish. Sit there and like, I don't know. It's just weird, man. Honestly, like,
It's in the same vein of like, because I know you have problems with this, but it's in the same vein of like, if you're ordering takeaway, like everyone
oh god,
and you order it just for yourself, you're the biggest arsehole in the room. Like, it's like, why didn't you offer? Why didn't you buy me something? It's like, well, because I'm not made of money.
exactly. You want something? At least chip in.
Yeah, like
You
pay
know,
for it
and
and
it's
I'll
like,
be fine with it, dude. I don't
and
care.
and what's weird is like when they. Oh, my mom does this a lot. All right,
Yeah.
it's like where she's like, where with all the food, we tell her that it's gonna be just for us, and then the food comes, and I'm like, ah, I kind of feel bad, so I'm gonna give her some, right? And she goes, no, no, it's fine. We got food here anyway. It's fine. Just
Yeah,
take it. Like,
it makes you feel
and
bad.
then the day after, I leave it, right? Because we didn't finish it. We leave
Yeah,
it out there, and it doesn't get touched. It doesn't get touched,
yeah.
and we have to throw it away.
Oh
So
my
who the
god.
fuck is wasting money here?
It's almost like a stubbornness of like, I'm not gonna eat it
Yeah,
because you didn't get it for
exactly.
me.
Like, luckily my nephews are here, so like whatever we take away, and then they can just eat it after. It's
Yeah.
fine, you know. But if they're not here, it's literally just sat there wasting.
Yeah, I hate like that's probably one of my biggest like gripe is like
Mm,
with not just this country but every country in the West is like how much food is thrown away. Like
yeah,
it just
I
honestly
agree.
pisses me off. Like
I'm on the same page, John.
yeah, like it just boggles my mind. Like, and I feel like it's an older generation thing of buying too much, like food,
Mm,
and
yeah,
it's just like if you're not gonna use it, then don't buy it. It's not that
yeah,
hard.
exactly. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Like if you don't take it, someone else is gonna take it.
yeah. That's why it
Like
made me laugh with this whole like lockdown thing where people were running out of food and going out. Not right. You're not even running out of food. Just buying tons and tons of rice. I bet those people that bought all that rice have still got it because you're not gonna go through that much rice.
exactly. And always when the whole bulk buying started, there's been reports that people like had to throw away their food because they're too much
Yeah,
in their fridge, and like, some of them were going off, and it's just
it's
you
ridiculous.
wasted so much money that other people could have fucking like eaten.
Yeah, because it goes to my other like thing of like when people say I've got no money to eat, right? Now don't get me wrong, I've been there, like where you've got
Mm.
like no money and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But a bag of like rice is really cheap. Like if you were starving to the
Mm.
point where we have been in our family, like
Yeah.
we've been very hungry. We've
Mm.
mum make like these simple like meals that you can get, or even frozen food, because you can get frozen meals for like £1, or like
Yeah.
four for £1 sometimes. So
Mm.
if you know where to shop, I don't get it. Like when you say you can't, like it's cheap food is so cheap nowadays. You know,
I think it's because people they associate like living to like something like how should I say it's
or
like
like not
they're
surviving. Like they're
yeah,
not the
so
same thing.
they
Yeah,
would
okay.
either be like eating somewhere like I don't know like fucking like Burger Shack or something, than
Yeah,
going to the shop and actually being sensible with your money, you know?
yeah. Because
Like
like
it
I mean, like a big bag of rice you can get for like, let's say the if you got premium stuff, it's like a £3 if you were getting premium stuff, right? Which you probably wouldn't
yeah.
anyway. But that
Mm.
like even if just a simple dish of like buttered rice, it's like it would still keep you alive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even pesto pasta is very cheap.
Rice and beans actually will
Yeah,
sustain you for the rest of your life.
yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
So like,
Yes.
I get it. You know, people want like variety because I'm one of the biggest
Mm.
ones of that. But if you're living on the breadline, then like
Exactly.
food is
There's nothing
so
to be
cheap in this country.
yeah. There's nothing to be ashamed about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get why people like what is it when I was was it like 2 3 years ago I had a friend
Mm.
he'll talk about like yeah I can't ever go basically eating like Uncle Ben's and things like that and I'm like why
Yeah.
like you're literally like you're he's everything dying it's like struggling with money to pay rent and shit and then you don't you still go out to buy fucking McDonald's or Burger Shack or something like that and it's
Yeah.
just like Uncle Ben's is like why do you look down on it like
Well,
you know
like
it's so cheap it's
yeah, I think it comes from like the lack of knowledge of how to cook though. Like, and it's something I wish was taught in schools.
you can
Like,
microwave Uncle Ben's in like a minute.
no, I know, no. I'm just going back to the original point. I hate Uncle Ben's, by the way. I think it's shit rice. But if I had to eat it, I would. But I do think it's probably like it is literally trash. If you can't, like, I get it. It's Uncle Ben's. It cooks in a minute. Boiling
Mm.
rice takes 10 minutes, and you've already got better rice. So
Yeah, but
I don't
it's
know
like
why.
at least this one's like at least spiced, you know. If you all you can afford is rice,
If you don't have spice in your cupboard, then you're either white or you're fucking the blandest person I've ever seen in your life.
you're dissing half of yourself there, Jack.
Ah, yeah, that's why I can diss it because it's half of me. Like literally, like spicing. You don't
Mm.
even need to spice rice. You could just put butter in it. Like
Oh, God,
it's not
I
even
don't
that
put
bad.
salt.
You don't have to put butter in your rice.
No,
Madness.
it, it it's like I'd rather put like a bit of salt, honestly.
I mean, I mean that goes without saying. I always put
Of salt.
salt in the rice and damn pepper. I wouldn't even. That's not even part of the ingredient list to me. Like they're staple. You have to put them on there. I literally salt and pepper everything I eat.
No, but there's some people that's out there that's not like because before like again my parents right
Mm.
they don't use salt on the
Yeah,
rice they just
that's an
have
old generation
plain rice.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Like they're like, oh no, too much salt. You shouldn't eat too much salt while they're sitting
yeah.
there eating chocolate. I'm like, and I'm like, okay, fucking hell.
But yeah, it's just go back to the point of like just having too much food.
Mm.
Like you know, it's just I just hope we don't go into a lockdown and people start buying bulky shit
I
again.
don't think they
Honestly.
will, but like at least the majority will. But I mean, like, because where I work, like we serve food, right? It's like
Mm.
pretty much like a restaurant. Well, it is a restaurant, but the food waste, man, that I see, it's
Yeah.
nuts. And I if I can, I ever take some home that we can have, or I have actually taken it to people for them to eat, like
Mm.
homeless people and stuff like that, because it's ridiculous. The
Mm.
amount of food that is wasted, like, and
Oh,
it's not even our fault. Like,
yeah.
like legally you have to throw it away. You're literally not allowed to give it to homeless people because if
Mm.
they get ill, you get sued and
Yeah.
they lose a lot, right?
Mm. Dude, go, sorry.
No, that's it. Go on.
I'm pretty sure Jordan will understand this, right? Because
Mm.
he's an avid listener. But when I used to work in Audi, so we would have like waste. So basically, like things that's been dropped or things that's been sort of like off,
Like
basically.
or damage or yeah.
Yeah, and then there was like this one colleague that I used to work with, and then she would like buy those
Yeah.
because they were gonna throw them. So it was like, I might as well buy them because you know if you're gonna throw them, I might as well give you some profit, right?
Yeah.
And then I think she'd been there for like a couple of months,
Yeah.
and then then they stopped it. They stopped it for no reason. They were like, well, you can't be doing that because it's waste. You're not paying full price. You're basically getting it for like a penny at this
Well,
point.
yeah.
But it's like it's damaged, and someone else is gonna eat it because we have a waste bin where they're just gonna send it off somewhere, and then it's gonna be chucked. That's it.
Yeah. Like, oh,
And
composted, I hope.
yeah, and then like, wouldn't it make sense to just like give it to like at least her who's actually like wants to fucking buy it and pay for it and like use it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like stopping him, like, you're not to do that because you're
So
basically getting
I've
free.
actually got an official like fucking answer for this. So
Mm.
or at least this is the answer I got told.
Oh, okay, go on.
The reason why companies don't like to do that, because it's the same it's the same thing at my place, right? If something was damaged, you used to be allowed to just either take it or buy it, but
Okay.
now they don't do that. Is because what people were starting to do was intentionally damage the products, so they could buy it for 1p, 2p, whatever. So
Oh,
that's
no,
no.
okay, yeah.
I know your coworker probably wasn't doing that, but that's
Yeah.
why they've introduced that into most supermarkets and restaurants because
Okay.
fucking workers, like, it's always one cunt that's got to like ruin it for everyone, but
Yeah.
but workers were intentionally either damaging it or in the case of restaurants, not trying to sell it, so that if it was
Mm.
left over at the end of the day, you could get it for cheap.
Mm.
That's why they
Okay.
did that, and it pisses me off because if the food is literally going to be thrown away, we now actually have to just throw it away. We can't give it to anyone. But I mean, to be fair, I don't know a single person who doesn't just fucking do it anyway, take it anyway. Because
Exactly.
like, I'm sorry, I'm not throwing. Like, there'll be like times where tens, like, you know, when you expect more people
Yeah.
than that actually come in. So there'll
Mm.
be like 10 or 20 fucking sandwiches we have to throw away, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking throwing these away. Like,
Such a
it's not
waste,
happening.
man.
Like, I know
Yeah.
I know some of it gets composted,
Yeah.
well, most of it, to be fair, but like at the end of the day, like, plants aren't gonna run out of compost. The world's running out of
Exactly.
food. We're not running out of compost here. So
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it doesn't hurt anyone, man. Like,
I'm pretty sure in
honestly.
France, you're legally required to give the food from supermarkets that are going out of date to homeless shelters. I'm pretty sure it's like law in that country that you have to give it to food
Why
banks.
can't we? Why can't we have that here, man?
Exactly.
Honestly,
Do you know
and it's,
why though? It's because fucking it's like countries like America and in here, it's like people will sue you.
ugh.
It's ridiculous.
You're getting free food, man. You're fucking dying.
Yeah, but
What
like,
are you gonna?
then you're gonna get one person who's acting like they're homeless. Go and fucking. This is what I'm saying. You've always got to think. You got to change your
Like,
mindset to the lowest dickhead out there who would go, do you know what? I'm gonna dress up as a homeless person, get a free food, then say I got fucking food poisoning, and then sue them. Because there's always one dickhead who just wants to get money quickly because they don't want to work in their life.
sad, man. I don't want to work in
No,
my
no one.
life,
Well,
but,
I don't know many people that do. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah, and it's like everyone's got to do it, and it's just you're just being a cunt for no reason.
Everything
You know?
nice that we like have is always restricted because somebody else has been a dickhead and claimed got something. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why on most, or like a jar of peanut butter, it says warning contains peanuts. Because some dickhead ate it and got an allergic reaction and sued the company because they didn't tell them that it had peanuts in it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Peanology. No,
yeah.
it's fine.
It's literally like, or like fucking, so you get coffee and on the cups, by the way, you know, on the cups, right, if you go to like Starbucks stuff, it says caution hot. Because people have to be warned that it says it's hot. Because if you
Oh,
don't, they'll sue you.
God.
It's ridiculous.
That's
Anyway,
insane.
we've run over
man.
time because of the rant. but
Oh shit, dude.
but this has been, Jack and Rod and your
Yeah,
podcast.
hello.
Like, subscribe, rant yourself at the
Peace.
bottom. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.